It's the Pigeon Talk podcast with your hosts Yisrael Meir Merkin and Suki Silver from the RCCS Hockey Classic.
We're back.
Third
Podcast.
Third time's a charm?
That's crazy.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Definitely would not have thought we would have survived this long.
Yeah.
Listen,
For all those that were wondering where I was for the Islanders game.
You sure anybody was really wondering that? But
I think a few people. I mean, I got messages.
Oh.
But brother got married, so shout out to Moshe.
Great timing.
Why weren't you there?
Oh, okay. It happens to be, I tried to get into the building, but I was wearing a Rangers jersey and they didn't let me in. But no, I was actually suffering from whatever virus was going around. Thankfully feeling much better. Heard it was an unbelievable time.
Yeah.
Real shout out to the entire RCCS staff for really making it an amazing time. It seems like the guys had a great...
And Todd from the Islanders.
Todd Bernstein took care of the boys.
I mean, thanks for letting us know that if you're wearing a Maple Leafs jersey, you're not going to get on the ice. But, hey.
All right. Listen,
you
I guess live and learn. Yeah, live and learn.
Yeah. All right. So this week was jerseys. I must have reached out to, every captain. And then from the captains, they have committees sometimes for their, jerseys. And then you have, it's just a lot. But jerseys is fun. Jerseys is awesome. And jerseys is the best part of this tournament. I just love jerseys. And talking about jerseys, we have a change. We have a big change going on.
Yes.
A lot of guys know the jersey. They know what's on there every year. You got the YYT, right?
That's a pretty nice jersey you're actually sporting right now.
I'm going to shout out to Chicago. Chicago tournament. Beautiful jersey. A Pyrean Cure. YYT on topper. The Irish Sholowitz.
It seems like the
Moshe and Irwin.
It seems like
Lior.
You're gonna keep on going. Yeah, it seems like
Moshe Nissenbaum.
Oh, you did it again. Third time's sharp. It seems like the tournaments have been really successful right now. It's almost a $500,000 raise.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I think by the time you're listening to this, we might be over 500. Yeah, it's awesome.
Big shout out to Moshe Nissenbaum, who's heading the tournament up there.
Chicago, you guys go. But yeah, so a lot of guys know what's on their jersey every year, and something that's been on the jerseys every single year from the beginning was a Walker and Dunlop logo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to allow you to discuss that. I'm going to ask you to discuss that. Where did Walker and Dunlop come from? Who brought it in? What's the significance? And then we'll talk about the changes happening.
Sure, thank you. So year one, 2018, when we started the tournament, one of the first captains, maybe the first captain to jump on board was David Rosenberg. And David, very passionate about the jerseys, very passionate about the colors. So he wanted his company at the time, Walker Dunlop, to be associated with the jerseys. So from year one up until last year, Walker Dunlop's logo was proudly affixed to the back of the jersey. And this year, David...
They were our official
jersey sponsor. And this year, David has since begun a new venture, no longer part of Walker Dunlop. He started his own company. The company is called Lion Creek Capital. And
insert logo here or wherever. Okay.
Lion Creek Capital. And yeah, so this is a new opportunity, a new partnership. Really just speaking to David's passion for the tournament, for the jerseys. Suki, can you tell us a little bit about Lion Creek Capital?
Yeah, because...
You're going to do a read?
Right.
Wow. By the way, the podcast has arrived. Suki's doing a read live.
Growing up listening to sports radio, I always wanted to do a read. Should I do a read? Let's do a read for Lion Creek. So for those wondering what Lion Creek Capital is, Lion Creek Real Estate Capital is a commercial mortgage brokerage and advisory firm that specializes in assisting clients in sourcing debt and equity. Our focus is across all commercial real estate classes, including multifamily, office, retail, industrial, and hospitality. We take on projects regardless of their size, with no transaction being too large or too small. Lion Creek stands apart from the others in the industry through our commitment to customizing solutions to each and every client and our ability and willingness to serve not just as brokers, but advisors. Now, interesting, Lion Creek Real Estate Capital is headed by David Rosenberg, Eep Katz, Mark Silberscher, who have collectively have over 80 years of real estate experience. I'd like to thank David Rosenberg and Lion Creek for coming on board as our New Jersey sponsors. No more Walker and Dunlop. I think it's going to look... I saw the logo already. You guys saw the logo. It's going to look nice. And it's just nice to have a change, right?
Change is good.
I think we have a...
First, excuse me. And for everybody who didn't know that you could actually pull this off, watch this.
things bigger than your head.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a guest in studio today. Let's welcome in. Let's introduce our special guest here.
Let's do that.
Thanks for calling me special. I appreciate that. It's been a while.
Any guests on the show is special. Any participant.
Anybody who's going to sit with us in this special. Yeah. Go.
Hi, Mike Fundier. Welcome to. Well,
I guess to
myself.
What,
Yeah.
Now we are taking a step into Moishi's world.
Yes.
Moishi comes to us because Moishi has had the, I guess, sad reality that he had to be a beneficiary of this amazing organization.
Yeah.
Moishi's been involved in a lot of our campaigns and videos, but we figured as a way to connect everybody, not only with the hockey, but really with the impact of what everybody's efforts are doing. We wanted Moishi to come on and tell us a story. So with that,
A lot of guys are actually familiar, I believe, with Maisha because we did a video last year that showed, I guess, a little bit of your story.
Yeah, my first connection with RCCS, we know, was 2017. You saw the tennis video, right? So the tournament, when Steyer calls me up and he says, so we want to do a tennis tournament here in Lakewood. So he says to me, all the tennis guys, get them involved. I said, should I play? Should I not play? He says, it's a good dilemma because I was supposedly the king of tennis in Lakewood at the time. I lost the title. I'm like number 427 now, but working at 426. We'll get there.
that's still about 1,000 higher than I would be, so that's okay.
Yeah, so that was my first connection with RCCS. So I played the tournament and I did in fact win. And I thought to myself, because I'm like such a hot shot, no chance I'm ever going to need RCCS. But fast forward 5 years later, I was calling RCCS. 4 years and a half later, I was calling RCCS because I was getting these like blackout focal seizures. And serious thing, it was like actually impacting my tennis game. Like, wow. Like, yeah. Besides the rest of the way.
We get these.
Yes. Exactly, right. So like while I'm playing tennis, all of a sudden I'm like zoning out, spacing out, and people on the court are like looking at me like, why are you spaced out? Like, just hit the ball.
Yeah, I do that in hockey, but it's nothing to do with that. It just something like it's pretty simple. But that's great. That must be frank.
Yeah. So that didn't really freak me out enough to get to the doctor. What freaked me out enough to get to the doctor was I was leading the davening on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, and it was like zoning out, blanking out. And this is a shul full of like elderly retired people, and for them to see like a kid, a punk who's like 41,
King of tennis.
no, it wasn't 41, I was 44. So it's king of tennis, punk, right? Thousand hot shot, zoning out in the middle of like, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur davening and like blanking for like 30 seconds at a time. They were like, why do you go silent there? That was like a little awkward. And then my wife says to me, she says like, that's it, you got to get it checked out. So I get it checked out. And then you go for an MRI and this scan and that scan, and it's determined that I had a brain tumor. Now, as a therapist, I'm good at getting some stuff out of people's brains, but brain tumors, I don't know how to get out of people's brains.
Especially not of our own, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, so I, so I go to this neurologist, and he finds the tumor, and he says to me, I think you might want to get it checked out a little further. I don't have the wherewithal to do it because I'm only like a neurologist. I don't have like this surgery kind of expertise. So I'm a little freaked out. I'm like, so what should I do? Where do I go? He's like, I'm going to find a brain surgeon. So I'm like, okay, that'd be easy, right? You open the Lakewood directory, you'll find a brain surgeon. But my first call actually was RCCS. So I call RCCS, and like the next day, Menachem Oberlein calls me up, and he says, can you send me the scans? And I send him the scans, and I thought it was like ridiculous why I'm sending him scans. Like, what does he know about reading scans? But he knew it right away, diagnosis and which doctor would be the right man for the job. And the very next day, I had an appointment with Sisti in Columbia Presbyterian.
Mm-hmm.
And actually last week I had the fortune of meeting somebody who's on the board of Columbia Presbyterian. I met him at an event for another stock organization, and I said to him, thank you for taking care of me 2 years ago. He says, which doctor was he? He says, Dr. Sisti. I just go, oh, Dr. Sisti. So he's like a board member, and he's impressed with Dr. Sisti. So I had that appointment the very next day with Dr. Sisti, and it was actually a couple days before December 25th. So it was like a day before he was due to go out on vacation, and I was going to like disappear he was going to disappear for like 10 days. I would assume like the office was going to clear out for like a week and a half, but somehow he got me in there for like an hour-long appointment where we were just like chit-chatting and schmoozing, and it was not even like all like examining my head. It was really just like schmoozing. And he had all the time in the world. So I said to him, I said, what is this, like 2 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon? Like, I thought you'd be like super overwhelmed. And he says to me, well, RCCS and us, we have like a close connection, and we have time for RCCS people. So this is great.
Well, I could just imagine, like, what was just if you can, I don't know if it's possible, you can explain, like, what was the difference before you called RCCS when you're dealing with this, and then the impact that they had afterwards? Like, what was the feeling of how am I going to deal with it?
Yeah. Good question. So when this Dr. Song, who is this unknown neurologist in the middle of Yohopitz, New Jersey, tells me, I have to go find something, I was pretty freaked out. I did not know where to start, how this whole process is going to look, how the recovery is going to look, how the funding for it is going to be provided. I knew I had insurance, but I just didn't know if it would be like covered in full, or I'd have to pay thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to get this brain repaired. And I was really nervous about a lot of different aspects of it, like how do I talk to my kids about it? And RCCS really had a lot of answers for every single thing. So like I literally did no Googling. After I contacted RCCS, I was like done Googling. Google was like, that was like crazy.
That's amazing. I worked here for 5 years. I'm out. I have never, no one's ever put it that way. It's such an interesting thought. Like, I did not Google. It's like the first thing you think is like, oh, this happened to my car. This happened to this. You Google it, right? It's like, no, I didn't Google it.
Right. And my wife was like, every night my wife was like on Google, like looking for all the science and all the understandings. And I was like, come on, RCCS tells me to just go to Dr. Sisti, and Dr. Sisti knows what to do, what we're done.
Branding line. RCCS is the Google for
right.
Wow. That's incredible. Wow.
So Mamish went in with like total menuchas nefesh, and it's interesting because I'm not like the most serene person, but in this instance I was. So.
Wow, that's amazing. And now you're back to tennis.
Yeah, I was actually back to tennis like within a few weeks of surgery. So don't tell Dr. Sisti, because he told me like 30 days before you go back on the court, and I cheated. I got out.
Secret is say be fast.
All right, that's awesome. That's just, first of all, thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, very, very much.
Really appreciate that. I know the guys appreciate seeing what they're raising for, what they're playing for.
Mm-hmm.
This is, we run a good hockey tournament. We love hockey. Guys love it, but bottom line, the reason why we're doing it is that we can continue doing what we do. I appreciate you sharing that story.
Yeah, thank you very, very much.
Glad it could. One last afterthought. I just realized as I'm sitting here facing it, I'm thinking like the camera's facing the side of my head where Dr. Sisti like slicing my head open, and you can't even tell. Like, totally.
That's amazing. Wow, that is.
And it's not because I have shaggy hair. In the beginning, for like a year after surgery, I told the barber like let it go shaggy on the left side, and it finally closed up.
Wow.
Like, but I was wearing that scar like a badge of honor. And it was like a reminder of what I had gone through, and I would like to be able to tell people, like, it happened to me. You just, I'm fine.
I had brain surgery. How are you?
I know, right? I'm a little crazy, but yeah, that's what brain surgery does. That's it.
Listen, you're down the humor in it. That's great.
Yeah.
So you be serene and find the humor.
Yeah, I got some jokes about brain surgery too. I don't know if you want to hear them all, but
all right.
Thank you very, very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, guys.
Well, good luck.
Honestly, like, speechless. It's fun. It's fun to do the tournament. It's exciting. It's fun becoming friends with all these people, but it's knowing why we're doing it and hearing it firsthand from someone, especially an athlete also. Like, I'm speechless.
Yeah, I don't think there's much I can offer on that. I mean, at the end of the day, to see firsthand the impact, what the guys have been doing, what the raising, where it's going, and what it allows RCCS to do, it's a true partnership. Everybody who's listening to this and one who's part of the tournament should know that they have an active role and an integral one in everything that RCCS does.
And on behalf of all the patients of RCCS, we could just say thank you. Right? It is. All right, man. Let's
What I mean, we can't end it yet. We still have something we have to discuss.
I know we have a few things. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
let's go.
So,
So first of all, we have to discuss challenges.
all right, let's
It's
discuss
all about
challenges.
it's about the raising. So right
right.
now we're currently running the first 5 teams to hit 25K.
Okay.
Get Shell Pants, the Pigeons, led by their captain Shmuley Weinberg, have already secured 1 set of Shell Pants. We still got 4 more to give away. Sure that the guys are going to be on top of that. Now that being that we are recording this on Wednesday, we would have also already had our 50K match, which I guess we'll discuss the record on how quick you'll.
Can we discuss matches for a second?
No.
It goes so fast.
It's crazy.
I think our record was a 36,000 match, and it went like 2.5
Point-
minutes. No, it was less.
0.3 seconds. No,
That was
1.3. It was 1.3.
But that wasn't the 36K, right? That was the 36.
Was it 36?
That's crazy.
It is. It is.
People don't realize that we actually have to call our website developers and people.
And warn
They
them.
have to warn them. Like
Mhm.
whatever amount of people you can host on your website at the same time, just they know there's a match coming for RCCS, and they increase whatever they have to bandwidth or whatever.
It's pretty cool.
That's very cool. Yeah. So what challenge do we have going on this? I guess next week.
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
Let her know. So we're gonna edit that part.
really don't,
I have
Sean.
no idea. No, I have to look. I have to look at the beds, but we'll see where we're holding. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Fail.
But
We have a trivia to
yes,
answer.
trivia.
Okay, so for those who wanted to know the answer, it's interesting. Yes, there was a team in 2022 that used that jersey, which would be the Bandits. However, that specific jersey that I was wearing, if you look closely, and it's actually shown, is 2018.
Yes.
It's 2018, which is the first year of the tournament.
Mhm.
And for those who know, the teams that were there, and some people got this actually, quite a few, there was no team that actually wore that jersey. That was a one-off jersey for
myself
you
and Aaron.
and Aaron Starr.
Mhm.
And a lot of you got the hint of who was on the back of the jersey, and the answer was Aaron Starr. So for those who got
Because there
the
was no
trifecta,
chance you were going to fit into the jersey that they got from me.
that's right. So for those who, I guess for those who guessed all 3, got the Triple Crown. And congratulations to the winner, which we will be doing. We'll have in the raffle, I guess, Saturday night. So, congrats. Do we have another trivia?
Oh, we do. We do.
Another trivia.
So let's build off of that first year, 2018, and anyone who can remember who actually played. So there were 2 divisions. There was an A division and a B. Not like now we have 6. So what I want to know is which 2 teams were in the championship game, and which 2 teams were. Which 2 teams were in the championship game for Division A, and which 2 teams were in Division B. But the kicker is making sure that you actually guess the right team names. We want
This is not the captains.
It's
This is
not the captains.
players. Not where
It's
they're
not the
from.
location. Exactly. We
Names.
want the team names of the 2 teams that were in the
Right.
championship for Division A
This is gonna-
and for Division B.
Okay, so Division A, Division B, championship team names. 4 teams total, 2018. Again, message it to me. Private message it to me. Your answers, and this is actually going to be a tickets for a $100 gift card to Pure Hockey
Awesome.
to be used for any gear. Alrighty, man. Till next week.